At some point in our lives, we're all going to come face to face with death, and we'll get a call. We'll sit by a bedside, and we will feel the world tilt as someone that we love is given news that we never wanted to hear. And the question is, what do we do when that time comes? How do we show up? Not just as friends or family, but as a fellow human. How do we not turn away from the sacred act of dying? And so I want to share this story with you and what it has taught me about presence, grief, and the power of simply being there. So a few years ago, I got a call from a friend, and her friend had just been hospitalized and received some difficult news, pancreatic cancer, and she wanted a death doula. So when I arrived, the energy was already heavy. I could still feel the shock just hanging in the room. It was so heavy. And she had gone in thinking she needed antibiotics, and she left on hospice, given only a few weeks to live. So you can imagine that it's just a hard situation to be in. I met her on a Monday, and she died on Friday of that same week. And in that short window, her world and the world of everyone who loved her completely rearranged. The friends flew in, they came in, they made it in there in time to hold her hand, laugh, speak their piece. There were many who weren't able to. And what I witnessed in those 5 days was sacred. And yes, there was sadness, and yes, there was fear, of course, but there was also tenderness, a lot of laughter, and a lot of memories. And in those quiet, powerful moments in between where everyone dropped their performance of their life and they just came to show up, it taught me something I've never forgotten. So I think we always think that we have time. We have more time to say the thing, more time to show up or call or visit. But death compresses time. You can have 5 weeks, 50 years, or 5 days. It's never enough. No matter how much time we have, it just never feels like we have enough time, especially when the love is real and deep. And here's the first thing I want you to know. Make the call. Yeah, the person that you thought of, make the call. Send the text. Be the weird one and hug just a little bit longer the next time you see them. You will never regret loving someone fully when time is running out, but you might just regret holding back. And I don't want that for you. And another thing that I saw and I commonly see, especially with terminally ill patients, is well-meaning friends and family trying to make the sadness go away. They say things like, stay strong, think positive, everything happens for a reason. But here's the truth. Grief isn't a problem to solve. Sadness is not a disease. It's not the disease anyway. When someone is dying, or we're watching someone that we love die, what anyone needs most in those moments is permission to feel it all. And what helps? Well, listening. Just simply listening and witnessing. Sitting in the discomfort with them. Not trying to erase it. Not trying to make it go away. And that is hard. I'm not sugarcoating it. It is hard stuff. Because we as humans, we want to help. We want to fix. We want to make it feel better. But healing doesn't come from advice. It comes from being witnessed and seen. And so if someone is grieving or facing death, you don't need to find the right words. You just need to show up. Just be quiet, be real, and let them have their process. And I know it's so hard. Let them have their process. And here's something else that no one tells you. There is no right way to process the end of life. Some people laugh, some people go silent, some people want to talk about the practical things like their will or the binder or the body disposition, and others, many others, don't want to talk about it at all. But it's not your job. If you're in their life and you want to stay in theirs, it's not your job to steer or direct. It's your job just to honor. To create a space for whatever version of grief or dying is present can be difficult, but it is doable. Our role here is just to be present. I'm not talking about the tidy kind of poetic grief that we see on the social media, like when we scroll. I'm talking about the messy, the ragey, the confusing one, those waves of, I'm not going to feel better, that I'll never feel better, waves of grief. Grief is love with nowhere to go, and if you're rolling your eyes, I see you, but that's okay, because grief is love with nowhere to go. But we let it go where it needs to go. That's all we need to do. Now, there are two things that are guaranteed in this life: death and taxes. And I'm not an accountant, and I don't have full rights to that little sentence because that was given to me by a friend. But what I am is someone who has held hands with people at the end of life. I've witnessed final breaths. I've witnessed final goodbyes. I've seen the soft unraveling of a body letting go. And I want you to remember this. Show up. Say the thing. Love a little louder. Hug a little longer. You won't do it perfectly. That's never the point. The point is presence. So if you or someone that you love is navigating a terminal illness, if you're overwhelmed and you're unsure of what to do next, that's where a death doula can help. And as a death doula, I've walked alongside families in this sacred transition. You know, death doulas hold space, we offer guidance, and we help you remember what matters most, especially in the time that you have left. And if you want that kind of support, you can book a call with me. The link is in the description, and just know that you don't have to navigate this alone. Or, if this work calls to you, and you want to learn how to become a death doula and hold this kind of space for other people, my course is open. The link's in there too. So thank you for being here. Thank you for being someone who wants to do this well. Okay, I'll see you in the next one.